So we're chatting with Coy from BigCommerce about BigCommerce. So thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with us about how BigCommerce is an awesome e-commerce platform for merchants to utilize to get their businesses online. So the first question that we're going to talk about is just a little bit more about BigCommerce, the origins, the history of the company, and the growth that it's experienced over the last several years.
Yeah. So this is actually one of my favorite stories to tell because it gives me an opportunity to reminisce, right? And Eric, you know, like I do, I enjoy a good story where I get to reminisce. So if you would go back in time with me a bit, we're going to head back to the early 2000s, right? And our founders, Mitch and Eddie, two Australians, they actually met each other in a chat room. And when they met each other in this chat room, they began to have conversations about, you know, having websites. And at that time, having a website was something that was, you know, pretty high tech. It wasn't anything that most people were doing. And if you wanted to sell a product online, then you were absolutely cutting edge. So what our two founders set out to do was they set out to democratize being able to sell online, right? To have an e-commerce store, to sell a product online. Because before then, you had to, if you were a seller, you had to go to eBay and you just essentially became a seller on a marketplace. You weren't really able to build a brand. The only companies that were able to build a brand back then and be able to use e-commerce to do that were large enterprises, because if you wanted to have an online store, you would have to spend, you know, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. It would take months, if not years, to actually implement. So what our two founders thought about really helped to revolutionize democratizing e-commerce so that brands, businesses, individuals like you and I could start to sell products online. So if we flash forward to 2009, that's when BigCommerce, a SaaS e-commerce platform, went live. And we have now over 60,000 merchants who are selling products online in over 120 countries and have surpassed $25 billion in transactions through our platform. And BigCommerce actually recently went public as well last year in 2020. We're on NASDAQ, our ticker is Big C. So we've seen such tremendous growth in the innovation, such tremendous momentum within the organization, and we're looking forward to even more as we're now seeing the acceleration of e-commerce.
Yeah, and you're essentially empowering entrepreneurship online and them able to control their customer and communicate with the customer and being able to connect with them that way. Absolutely. So out of the box, BigCommerce obviously comes with a lot of nifty features. And who is the ideal person who would utilize BigCommerce to take their business online?
Yeah, so I think you hit the nail on the head, right? BigCommerce is definitely a product that is super robust out of the box, right? Natively able to handle a lot of what merchants are going to need when they go online. So we can work with merchants that are just starting out, you know, startups. But I would say our ideal client is going to be a more mature business, right? A business that either is doing, you know, $1 million in online GMV, or they're doing, you know, a few $1 million offline, $10 million or so offline, and they're wanting to now include an online channel, right? So for a more mature or established business, BigCommerce is the perfect fit, because what we really want to do is we want to help fit in first, right? Not be something that's going to be a product that is going to completely disrupt what you've got going on, but to be able to fit into the current infrastructure that you have to help modernize things from all of the legacy items that you might have had or technology that you had. And then from there, we help you to stand out, differentiate yourself, create you know, customizations, and allow your customers to be able to fall in love with your brand all over again. And those are the things that we love to do. And we really work with merchants at any size to, again, really help them to sell more.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, when these merchants are looking for solutions to elevate their e-commerce strategy online, they're faced with many different alternatives. So when we peel back the layers on the true functionalities of BigCommerce, what helps BigCommerce stand out from the rest of the options they have?
Yeah, so we've coined the phrase open SaaS. And what open SaaS essentially is we're able to now take the best of both worlds. So just as you said, many e-commerce players out there, but typically the e-commerce players fall on one or the other end of the spectrum, where you got a multi-tenant SaaS, right? In a multi-tenant SaaS, these are going to be the platforms that are going to have easy and quick updates, software upgrades, PCI compliant security, and all of that's going to be handled and managed by the platform and automatically pushed to the merchant who's using that particular platform. And then you've got the other side, and the other side is going to be open source, where you have the full flexibility to go in and customize. You've got enterprise class APIs. And what BigCommerce did is we're sitting right in the middle of that spectrum because we didn't think it was fair for merchants to have to choose between all of the great things that they get from a multi-tenant SaaS with all of the customizations and the enterprise class APIs that they get from an open source platform. And that's why BigCommerce is so disruptive in the e-commerce space, because we are open SaaS. And what we're doing is we're combining the best of both worlds to give merchants the opportunity to have all of the things that they love about a multi-tenant SaaS platform, like upgrades, like security and compliance, and all of the things that they love about an open source platform, like enterprise class APIs, being able to connect to best in breed partners, customization of their front end, and putting it all again in one platform. And that's why BigCommerce is an open SaaS and why we are winning so much in the marketplace today.
Yeah, you guys are essentially helping them run their business their way that they want to do it online in an effective manner. So with that, I'm pretty sure you can share a couple success stories of merchants who were able to adopt BigCommerce and then scale their business online.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I know that you are probably thinking the same thing that I am. Oh my gosh, people are constantly talking about their company and how great their company is. But instead of doing that, let me actually use some merchant stories. So give me a second and let me pull this up really quickly, Eric. We've seen so much going on and happening, of course, because of the pandemic, right? We're seeing such an acceleration towards commerce and really helping these businesses to get online so that they can meet their customers where they are. And this is just one. So Uplift Desk. If you're not familiar with Uplift Desk, they are a company that sells ergonomic designed desks that, of course, are able to help you stand and sit. And like I know, Eric, being in our homes now for, the past few months, now we're kind of closing in on that year, or actually might have just eclipsed that year. You want to make sure that you're able to kind of stand and sit, and that you got a desk that's ergonomically designed so that through all of the pain that you would sitting at a regular desk. And Uplift Desk, they joined BigCommerce, and just the stats that you see here are absolutely ridiculous. But let me go through one of these that definitely stands out at me, and it's that 733% increase in sales from abandoned cart emails year over year. And we had spoken about native features and native functionalities right out of the box of BigCommerce, and that abandoned cart functionality, being able to reach out to customers who come to your site, put something in the cart, and either they forgot or maybe they said, I'm going to come back later, and having an opportunity to communicate with them so that you could save that sale, bring them back to the site, hopefully have them add additional things, is something that is absolutely paramount. And we're seeing the success of that with Uplift Desk, being able to, again, use that native functionality that comes with BigCommerce. So I've got one more here that it's Berlin Packaging. And Berlin Packaging, they are a B2B business. They sell a lot of different B2B supplies. And one of the stats that I love to talk about here, just because it's a bit mind-blowing, but it's the fact that they increased their web leads over 2,690% year over year. Yeah, I'll say that one more time. They increased their web leads over 2,690% year over year. And it's because we've got a platform that enables them to not only list the myriad of products that they have, but in a way that is easy and intuitive for their B2B merchants to be able to shop on their site. And although, again, B2C is something that is, super huge. We're seeing so many B2B businesses wanting to go online to be able to offer that same type of experience for their B2B customers, and also create a D2C or direct to consumer side of their business to continue to increase the sales channels that they have. Now, I could pop up even more here, but if you'd like to see some more of our, showcases, et cetera, you can go to bigcommerce.com/showcase, and you can see other case studies that we have here as well that might fit more into your industry, like health and beauty, sporting goods, even high risk products like guns, ammo, vape, and CBD products.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great to see that out of the box, just with native functionality within the platform, it can help merchants scale online tremendously, either with leads or increasing their sales, or even relying on abandoned cart emails. It also lowers, I take it, your cost of ownership, because you don't need to invest in applications and then worry if they have to roll out updates and if their APIs aren't communicating. So kind of all these great out-of-the-box functionalities help you just manage your store within BigCommerce. So obviously you guys have 60,000 plus merchants using it. You're listed on the stock exchange. So what's next for BigCommerce, and what's the best way anybody who's interested in BigCommerce can get in contact with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's next? I mean, I believe that e-commerce is something that was always here. We saw the innovation of it. Some stats that I saw before the pandemic was that e-commerce by 2023 was roughly a $900 billion industry. Well, we're seeing an acceleration of that. And the newest stats that I've seen are stating that by 2023, e-commerce will make up about $6.5 trillion in retail sales, right? That to me is extremely exciting. So we're seeing such an immense greenfield. BigCommerce, we recently rolled out our channel manager, and our channel manager is really designed to allow merchants to sell more on more channels. So partnerships that we've announced with, Walmart and Wish, that you're able to get in contact with or start selling on through Channel Manager, products like Facebook and Instagram, so that you can take advantage of social commerce as well, right? I want to say it's like 3.5 billion users or so, on Instagram and Facebook that you're now able to connect with, and they can natively check out on those platforms. So, omni-channel is definitely something that we've been speaking about for quite some time. Now, again, because of the acceleration of e-commerce, we're starting to merchants are now starting to see why it's so important to not only be able to build your brand and be able to speak directly to your customer, but also to be where your customers are and be able to offer them a seamless and frictionless transaction is certainly something that, I believe is here to stay. So those are just some of the things, right now that we're working on. And I know that there's going to be even more things coming out, of course, in this year and of course beyond, as we continue to see these trends and these items that we used to think were luxury items like curbside pickup and, buy online, pick up in store. We're going to see more of that really become the norm as we continue to move into the later years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice to see that you guys are essentially allowing them to just be wherever their customer is and just allow them to sell to them there, make the process as seamless as possible.
Absolutely. And that's also why we partner with, with you all, right? Mm-hmm. eBridge gives our merchants the opportunity to connect to those best in breed technologies that are out there that are going to help them to grow and scale, as opposed to, of course, dictating who they've got to work with, mm-hmm. how they've got to work with them, and, kind of putting them in a box, if you will.
Yeah. And it helps them manage the business to ensure they actually have the inventory on hand and the most up-to-date business information, so they can make those business decisions that they need to and serve their customers better. So as we're going to close off, best ways to get in contact with BigCommerce.
Yeah, absolutely. So feel free to reach out to me, coy.mcdermott@bigcommerce.com. Mm-hmm. I'm manager of strategic partnerships here at BigCommerce, and I would be more than happy to help and assist you in your e-commerce journey and help and assist you with any mm-hmm. best in breed partnership recommendations that you might have as well.
Yeah, and just to close things off in traditional video chat style, the links will be down below the video. So you don't need to memorize all that contact information. It'll all be there for you. So Coy, thanks for taking time to chat about BigCommerce and why BigCommerce is a fantastic e-commerce platform for anyone looking to take their business to the next level.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric.
All right, thanks.